This is my first video for the YouTube, of course, and in this first video I want to talk about how to survive in a shitty world. At first, let me explain why I want to talk about this topic. Because when I look around and I observe my surroundings, I understand that, and actually I easily understand this, people feel so unhappy, and most of the time they are using antidepressants, or they try to numb themselves with alcohol or with drugs. And probably there are a lot of reasons why people feel like this in this modern era. Let me talk a little bit about my opinion, why people feel like this, and do we have some tools to overcome this stuff? How can we manage to survive in a shitty world? At first, why people feel unhappy? Because people feel unvalued. People feel unvalued, they feel meaningless, and that's why they feel unhappy. And why people feel unvalued? Because at first, let's understand our current situation in the modern world. We have the chance to see and observe what's going on in the whole world with our cell phones. We have internet connection, and we can see a person in Germany or in America or in London doing. We can see and understand what kind of a life they have. And if we are sitting our homes alone, like me, and if we go to work for shitty jobs for 5 times per week, I think, and also at the same time, if we are seeing what's going on in the world with our cell phones, and let's realize that every time people share their best moments in their social media accounts, so we are getting exposed to the best moments of people's lives, but we are just not aware of that. And we are living lonely, we are going to work for 5 times per week. It is inevitable for us to feel like we are wasting our times and we are doing our tasks for nothing. We are living a meaningless life overall. We feel like that, and having a lack of meaning is detrimental for our mental health. We are not evolved to feel like this and be okay. We have some sort of a meaning in our lives. So people feel meaningless, they feel unvalued, so they go and seek help from antidepressants, alcohol, drugs, or any kind of instant gratification. I don't know, you name it. So today I want to talk about how can we manage to survive in this world. Do we have some tools? I have an outline in here, and I'm gonna check this paper every now and then and track the steps. At first, I want to talk about mental health. Why I want to talk about mental health? Because mental health is the key of everything. If we don't have a great mental, it is impossible for us to feel valued, happy, or let's say peaceful. We need to have a great mental health. And I know there are a lot of tools, there are a lot of steps that we can follow to achieve a great mental health. And in this video, probably I'm gonna reveal some of them, but some of them is not going to be included in this video. Let's start with the tool number one. Yeah. And it is having a sense of purpose. We human beings, we all need a sense of purpose. We all need a reason to get out of from bad. Why this is important? Because in modern world, for most people, the reality is they don't have a religion or they don't believe in a God. So if you don't have a religion and if you don't have a God, you need to find some sort of values and some sort of reasons to follow. I'm trying to say, actually, I'm not saying this. Nietzsche said that a couple of 100 years ago at the 19th century or so, something like that. I'm not sure exactly in which year he said that. But if you don't have a religion or if you don't have a God, we need to create our own values and we need to act under the govern of those values, because we need a foundation in this life, and that foundation might be the rules of a holy book, rules of a God, or rules of your own reality. We need some values and we need some sort of a purpose, because if you don't have a purpose, we will become something like a car without a steering wheel. Okay, you might be an Opel or you might be a Ferrari, but if you don't have a steering wheel, you can't go nowhere. You will get up, you will have your breakfast, you will have your shower, you will start your day, but what are you going to do with your day? How are you going to use your precious time? The real question is this. And if you have a purpose, if you feel like you are moving towards something great, you will feel okay and you will feel peaceful. Yeah, you will feel peaceful. But without a purpose, you are going to feel like a crap. That's for sure. Because if you don't know how to use your own time, you'll feel bad and you will feel bored or you will suffer. That's a fact. And I want to talk a little bit about an example, and it's related with my own situations, and also it's related with having a sense of purpose. I remember myself, I was feeling so depressed and I was feeling like a piece of shit a couple of years ago, because every single day I was waking up and I was dealing with some tasks which are given by some other entity or by some other person. It can be your school, it can be your teachers, it can be your friends, it can be your parents, I don't know, you name it. For my situation, it was my school. Still, I have been studying in a university, but the times I'm mentioning right now, a couple of years ago, every single day I was waking up and I was studying some shitty tasks, okay, because my school was saying that you need to work on that stuff. And I was working on them, but I was feeling so depressed because I was feeling like, okay, I'm working on these stuff, but I think this is for nothing. I really don't enjoy it, and it's not meaningful for me. I don't find any passion in this job, or I don't find any enjoyment. I think you understood my point. I was working with this kind of stuff and I was feeling so bad until I discovered something that I really want to pursue. I really love traveling, and I love traveling both in my country and both in abroad. And I realized that if I want to travel abroad and dive into the cultures, dive into the realities of different cultures, dive into the lives of different people living in different countries and being truly able to understand how the life is going on in those different countries, I need to know their own unique language. or I need to know a common language in favor of being able to communicating with them. Because if you don't have the chance to communicate with the locals while you are traveling, you are not going to understand anything from those cultures and from those lifestyles. So if you are traveling a lot and if you are going to different countries, it is impossible for you to learn every different language. So the logical solution was learning English, because nowadays everybody talks English. This is the lingua franca of the modern world. It is the common language of the modern world. So I realized that I need to learn and speak English if I want to achieve these goals. So I have started working on my English. And I remember myself, I had a lot of friends also working on their English. And I realized that I was better than them when it comes to studying English. Because you're gonna ask why, maybe. Because I really had a strong reason. They also had some reasons for studying English, but they were a little vague and they were not strong enough for them to really pursue this hard goal. And I was literally getting more and more ahead of them as time passes by, because I really believed in my work. Every single day I was waking up with a sense of purpose. I knew that learning English is going to serve me very well, and that was my purpose during those times. So I was literally exploiting every opportunity when it comes to English. And why I'm revealing this story? Because I remember myself during those times, I was feeling so motivated, I was feeling so valued, and I was feeling that I am moving towards something great in this life. And I was feeling so great. So the conclusion is, even having a small purpose, which is learning a language, can transform your life from bad to good. I think this is the first and foremost point when it comes to being able to deal with this life. If we have a reason, we can undergo every hard process. Okay, another point is acknowledging and admitting that this world is all about suffering. So what I'm trying to say is, probably you guys know the German philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer. He says that this world is a pendulum, goes between boredom and suffering. You can't escape this equation. You will either feel bored or you'll suffer. And probably he was right, because if you really think about that, making effort and trying to achieve something in this world is suffering, no matter what you are trying to do. And if you give up from everything and try to do nothing with your life, you will feel bored. You can't escape feeling bored. So you are going to feel bored or you are going to suffer. You can choose which path you want to pursue. But this is the equation of this world. This world is all about suffering. And I want to say there are two types of sufferers. There are two types of suffering. The first one is the suffering we choose, and the second one is the suffering we don't choose. So if we choose to suffer now, and if we try to choose the things which are going to make us suffer, it's going to be easier for us to deal with the future suffers. It might be a little bit confusing, but basically I want to say, if we don't act logically and if we don't suffer now with a great reason, in the future we are going to suffer more, and we are going to suffer from unexpected and more harmful things. For example, it's a simple example, but most of the time youngsters study at universities. And why they do that? Because if you think about that, studying in a university is suffering. And I don't talk about the party life or enjoying in your spare times during the university. I'm talking about sitting in a class and taking lessons from a shitty teacher about a shitty topic. This is suffering, man, and you do it for 4 to 6 years depending on your major. And people endure this process because they know that if they don't study university, they are going to find a shittier job actually, and they are going to earn less. They are going to work for more hours, and they will be dealing with more bad jobs. So people choose to suffer now in favor of the hope of a better future. And I say we should apply this method into the every aspects of our lives. We should suffer now because we don't want to suffer more in the future, and we want to choose the things which are going to make us suffer logically. Okay, another topic I want to talk about is, and this is going to be exclusively for males instead of both males and females. Being a man is all about being able to suffer. How much pain you can tolerate. This is the measurement of being a man. It's not about the testosterone levels in your bloodstream, or it's not about how you are acting when you are with a lady. Those things are not the measurement of being a man. How much pain you can endure. This is the measurement. So for some of you, I don't know, that might be an extra motivation to suffer more in your lives. And just realize that, okay, we are men and we want to suffer for a better future and for our loved ones. Just imagine that you have your parents, you have your children, you have your partner, and probably if you're a reasonable man, you don't want them to suffer. So you are the person who is going to suffer in favor of protect them. If you don't want your loved ones to feel pain, you should feel that pain. Because remember, life is all about suffering. You can't escape suffer. Somebody should suffer, and if you are going to be the one who suffers, you can protect your family from and your loved ones from bad things. Another point that I want to talk about is when it comes to dealing with world, destroying all the expectations. We should all destroy all the expectations from anyone and from anybody, because we know expectations lead frustrations. And just realize that nobody and nothing in this world have the chance to make you a better, wealthier, healthier, and happier person. You can't expect this from anybody and from anything. And being a better man or being a better person, being a healthier, wealthier, happier person is all about how you're acting in this world and what is your own unique perspective about this world. Nobody can give you those gifts. Only you can go and get them with your own unique story and with your own unique hustling. Okay? Don't expect anything from anybody. Destroy all the expectations. Another topic I want to talk about is remembering this world is unfair and preparing your belief system for that. I'm trying to say, yes, we are going to work for creating a better future for ourselves, for our loved ones, but we should also be ready for everything can go upside down. In just one day, our world can become a terrible place. Something terrible might happen every single day and actually every single minute. We need to be prepared for bad things might happen. And I don't say give up from anything because the world is a shitty place and we should just go and chill on the beach or on the grass for as long as we live. I say we should work and toil for the hope of a great future, but we need to be ready for bad things. This world is an unfair place. World is a wild place. Injustice is just a joke. Human beings created justice and all kind of other lies. Okay. Be ready. Another point is having compassion toward yourself. And some other people say that it's better for us to congratulating ourselves for everything. And I think that might be a little bit ridiculous because if you are an ordinary man, it is ridiculous for you to congratulate yourself for waking up, having a shower, commuting, and doing all kind of regular stuff. But instead I want to talk about have compassion toward yourself, because we are human beings and it is inevitable that we are going to make a lot of mistakes during our lifespan and we are going to fail for thousands of times. So if we punish ourselves and if we torture ourselves because of our mistakes, we are going to make this world a worse place, and we don't want it to be happen. We don't want to make it. We want to make the things better, not worse. And probably you can easily understand that punishing yourself for a mistake is not going to serve anybody, and of course it's not going to serve you. But instead we want to have compassion to our mistakes. We can say that, okay, I fucked up, I know I'm wrong, but at this point, what can I do? What was my mistake? And how can I make things better for the next step, for the future? Okay? What can I improve? We should ask those kind of questions instead of saying bad things to ourselves or to other people or to anything. This is not helpful. Have compassion toward yourself and all the time try to make things better a little bit more. Have a growth mindset. Yeah, I was saying that congratulating ourselves for regular activities might not work, and probably it's gonna work, and it's a bullshit, but if we are feeling so depressed and making even those regular making those regular activities are hard, then we can congratulate ourselves for waking up or having a shower. Because I know if you are in a depression and if you are feeling like a piece of shit, it is even hard for you to wake up and get out of from the bed or prepare a great breakfast for yourself, a healthy one, or having your personal hygiene. those things can be even hard to do if you are feeling depressed. If you are feeling like this, then yeah, congratulate yourself for doing regular, normal, and healthy things. Another point, watch and remember the universe. And let me take a sip of coffee. Talking nonstop is hard. It is hard for my throat. I say watch and remember the universe. And why I say this? Because if you really see and understand the billions of years of time and the limits, not limits actually, because there is no limit, but if you understand the time and how big this universe is, we are going to feel so calm, because we will also understand that we are literally nothing in this universe. If you compare your size, the size of planet Earth, the size of our solar system, the size of our galaxy, we are literally nothing, man. And all the pain, all the pleasure, all the joy, all the feelings that you have been experiencing for your lifespan are going to be evaporate with the death of your consciousness. Everything, every feeling, every reality, this shirt, my head, your skin, I don't know, every kind of thing in this world is a fucking illusion. It's a fucking lie. It's a trick of your brain. And if you ask what's my brain, we don't know the answer. But I'm trying to say is, in this universe, we are a part of the universe. We are made by atoms of the universe. We are made by oxygen, hydrogen. But in the big story, we are nothing. We are nothing. And your old feelings are nothing. Your old thoughts, your own values, your own realities are nothing. They are going to be evaporated in a couple of decades. And a couple of decades, a couple of years is nothing in this universe. Just you are as you are. Everything's an illusion, everything is a lie. Maybe we are not even existing, who knows that? I'm trying to talk to a fucking camera and I'm trying to just do something, but who am I? We don't even know that. Okay, these are some different topics. I don't want to start saying some bullshit words. But in this universe, everything is temporary and everything is an illusion. Don't feel that your pain is going to last for forever. Another thing is, and another tool is expressing yourself. This is essential because we as human beings are social creatures, social mammals. And we need to connect with some other people and we need to get relieved from our inner thoughts and ideas. And the best and easiest way to achieve this is talking with a trusted friend or with a family member. But if you don't want that, if you are a person like me and don't feel confident or feel a little bit insecure while you are revealing your true secrets with somebody else, there is another method, and this is the method I have been using for a long time, and this is using a paper and a pen and just writing down the things you have experienced and how did you feel about them. What happened and how did you feel? What was your reaction to those events? Write things down. You will see that you will feel more peaceful after you finish your writing. For example, I remember a couple of months ago, I was having my lunch in the university's dining hall and I was alone. I remember I saw a beautiful lady. She was sitting with her two friends and they were having their own lunch also. I was checking that girl, and I finished my lunch. I saw that they finished their lunch also at the same time. I was trying to leave the dining hall and they were trying to leave the dining hall, and we came together at the exit gate, and suddenly I found myself in a conversation with them because I wanted to attract that lady, and suddenly I said something to the group of that, and I said something to that group, okay? I wanted to grab their attention somehow, and we started a conversation about anything and everything, but I realized that while I was talking with the two other guys, that lady was not answering my questions or not talking directly with me, but she was constantly looking at me. So yeah, while I was talking with the two other guys, I realized that that lady was not answering my statements, my questions, and I was thinking that why she's doing this, and I thought that maybe I should ask a direct question, or maybe I should say something directly to her to start a real conversation with her. And while I'm talking with the two other guys, I was at the same time thinking about what can I say to that lady. Wait. And while I was trying to talk with the two other guys, I was at the same time trying to figure out that what can I say to that lady in favor of starting a real conversation with her. And I was simultaneously talking with the two other guys and trying to figure out what should I say to that lady. So I was basically not listening to the two other ones, and I couldn't find something to say. And I remember after 5 minutes we were still talking, and they said that okay, now it is time for us to go and take care of yourself. I was thinking like, okay, this is your last chance. Please and please say something to her, because I could see with my own eyes that she was literally staring at me and she was waiting for me to say something to her, but I didn't. I didn't say something, and they slowly moved far away from me, And while I was standing upright and looking after them while they're going away, I was feeling like, please, man, just shout to that lady and say something. Don't let her go, because you are going to feel so bad if you let her go. But I didn't say something, and just after a couple of seconds, I started feeling so bad. I was feeling terrible. And I remember that feeling was not going away, it was lasting more and more. And I came home, I needed to study something. I was trying to give my focus to my studies, but I couldn't because all the time my mind was wandering around and thinking about that conversation, what I could have been said and what could have been happened. And I wanted to talk with somebody. I wanted to punish myself. I wanted to shout and um, hit myself, okay? But I decided to take in a pen and a paper, and I wrote down all the things that happened in that day. And I remember after writing 2 or 3 pages, and also I wrote how did I feel and how I'm feeling. And after writing 2 or 3 pages, I was feeling much, much better and much, much calm. So why I told this story? Because somehow you need to express yourself. Just use a friend or use a paper and a pen. Express yourself. You need that. Another thing I want to talk about is meditating. Nowadays, this is a common advice. They say that meditation changes lives. Just start meditating for 30 days and see what will happen. And I have been meditating for months actually, not for just 30 days. And I can easily say that it didn't change a single thing in my life. But let me say this also, I have been meditating for 3 minutes for each day. So you might ask, why not 10 minutes or 20 minutes or a little bit more than that, but 3 minutes? Because I've been trying to implement the habit of meditating into my daily routine. And I know I can't meditate for 10 minutes. At first, I feel so bored, and also I don't have 10 minutes to devote to meditating every single morning. Nowadays, I don't have that luxury. I have been dealing with many stuff, and maybe in the future I will be able to do that. But for the reasons I told, for the reasons that I mentioned, I have been meditating for 3 minutes and I didn't see any benefit. And maybe you can try it for yourself and see whether it's working for you or not. But I don't have a great experience with meditation. Another thing I want to talk about is remembering and admitting that this life is a pattern which is sinusoidal. It goes like this. Okay, it goes up and down, up and down. And this is the pattern of this life. And actually, this is good because if there's no bad things, there's no good things also. Or if there's no pain, there's no pleasure. If there's no white, there's no, if there's no dark, there's no white. Everything brings no, everything gains meaning with their opposites existing. So we need to be thankful for the pattern of this life, that sinusoidal pattern, because we can't expect to be happy all the time, because if we are happy all the time, actually we are not happy. Okay? We need to be sad sometimes to feeling the meaning of happiness, to being able to feel the meaning of happiness. That's a good point. And another point is, which is a common advice, eating healthy as eating eating healthy as much as we can. Because there's a saying goes like, gut is the second brain, and this is true as fuck. The things you eat directly and dramatically affects your mood. If you eat veggies, if you eat protein, and if you eat healthy or raw, you will feel much more better compared to the you eat sugar and you eat shit all the time. Another point is sweating. Make an exercise. I remember a guy was telling that sweat is the tears of the body resulting from happiness or something like that. I know from my own experience that exercising dramatically increases my mood. And when I don't exercise for more than 3 days, I feel something is lacking in this, in my body, in my mind, and also I start to feel worse. And also, let me share this reality with you. Surveys say that exercise is as strong as using antidepressants for patients who has mild to moderate depression. And also it is true for normal people. Exercise is so strong. It is as strong as using antidepressants. And I can just say that with my own experience, this is so fucking true. If you gain the habit of exercise, you are never be able to you will if you gain the habit of exercise, you'll never be able to give up from exercising, because it will be the main I don't want to say dopamine, but it will be the main source for you to feel and experience some good things, even though exercising is all about feeling pain during the exercise. Exercise. Another thing is being grateful. And this is nowadays another common advice, but I know from my own experience that writing 3 things down onto a paper which you are grateful for literally transformed my life, or literally will transform your life. I know for some of you that might sound ridiculous and you might say that, no way, man, just fuck off. This can't be real because it's not a big deal. But believe me, give it a chance and try to write 3 things down onto a paper for 30 days and you will immediately see the results. You will feel much, much more peaceful and you will achieve that state. You will achieve the state of peace of mind more easily. Be grateful. Write 3 things down onto a paper. It's better to doing it at it's better to doing it at mornings. And at last, let me take another sip. As a conclusion, I want to say we need to accept that world is a shitty place. We should know it, we should admit it, but with that knowledge, even knowing that this world is a shitty place and it's all the time going to be a shitty place, we should work hard for creating a better future. Because if we don't, life is going to beat us down so hard. If we don't try to create something better from ourselves, or if we don't try to make this world a little bit better place for ourselves or for some other person, for somebody else, we are going to experience a lot of bad things. And this is going to be so hard, man. We can't let that happen. We should try hard. We should try hard and we should try our best. Other than that, there is no meaning in this life. For some of us, trying hard can be the meaning itself. And actually, Oscar Wilde says that the aim of this life is self-development, to realize that one's nature perfectly and what we are here for. Yeah, that's it for me for this video. This is my first video, and I know I said a lot of bullshit in this video, and probably you understood that I'm not a native English speaker and I'm not so used to speaking English for that amount of time. So probably there are a lot of shitty grammar mistakes, or there are a lot of pronunciation mistakes about my language, but language is another skill, and I know with practice it will get better and better. So have compassion to my mistakes in this video. And yeah, that's it for me today. And let's say see you at next week. Yeah, bye.